if you read what I wrote, you will see that, number one, I make no false claims. And number two, the story is a work of fiction. I dedicate it to those who serve.
Maybe your next book you can write about an operations specialist that just got burned out in CIC and went on a bender in Thailand.
Hello.
Hi, I was looking for the author of Death Spiral.
That would be this hair lip.
Oh, is this Jim? James?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my. I was reading some of their reviews and looking over some of the internet stuff on your book. Jim, did you base that book off of your stuff, O'Leary?
A lot of it, yes.
As a
Who
C.
am I speaking to?
It's Don Shipley, Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay. Good to meet you, sir.
Yeah, good to meet you. As a Leary, as a SEAL.
Larry is a Navy SEAL.
Yeah. Your background, the same. Served in the Navy?
I served in the Navy, is correct.
Be doggone. Did you have a training class, SEAL training class that you went through, Jim?
I did.
Yeah. Can you help me out with any of that? I was sent this interesting book there, and I was looking at a thing that a Fook wrote. Mike Fook. Do you know Mike Fook?
Mike Fook, he's a good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah. In a previous decade, Jim was a Navy SEAL. Did you have that training class, Jim?
I don't give a training class, no.
No.
I'm a civilian now. All that's behind me. When you get old, you got to put it all behind you.
No. Wounded a few times, though.
I was.
I had been sent some of that. Jim, would it surprise you if I did not find your name listed as ever being a Navy SEAL? Do you know why that would be?
Yeah, because I wasn't a Navy SEAL.
Previous decade, Jim was a Navy SEAL. Did you have that training class, Jim?
I don't give a training class, no.
No.
I'm a civilian now. All that's behind me. When you get old, you got to put it all behind you.
No. Why would Fook say that you were in the Death Spiral stuff?
Mike is a good guy and a loyal friend, and I think he made assumptions.
I thought you had said something about this O'Leary character was based off of you. Kind of your
A lot of O'Leary is based off of me, just not all of them. It's a work of fiction.
Oh, okay. All right. I had received an email about this. If you weren't a SEAL, how did you get wounded?
There's some things we don't talk about anymore.
Classified stuff?
Yeah, and besides, I'm not a glory whore, so I want to just tell a story that was fun to read, an easy read, an exciting read, a fast read. And so, based on some experiences, based on experiences of my friends, I wrote a fictional tale.
But you do have those Purple Hearts.
They don't get Purple Hearts for the Black Ops.
Oh, this cloud. If you weren't a SEAL, how'd you get on these Black Ops things? I guess that's where my confusion is. I thought only, like, SEALs in the Navy, went on.
Well, there's SEALs, there's SWIC, there's other things.
Black Ops was SWIC, the boat guys?
Yeah, they do a lot of Black Ops.
Anybody else?
That's how you get the bad. That's how. Well, I call them bad guys because I don't like the CIA. But then no real special forces guys really like the CIA. Anytime you go on one of their missions, you know it's a go screw.
Yeah. Any other units in the Navy doing Black Ops besides SEALs and SWIC?
I'm sure there are.
Badly wounded in action along with other SEALs, and the two of them were killed. He later had it out with the SEAL that put them in that situation. Any, ever heard any of that before, Jim?
I think Mike wrote something like that.
Yeah. You ought to have
Mike's
a talk with...
author of fiction himself.
I don't think that came from Mike. Have you been telling any of these SEAL stories to anyone else?
Are you accusing me of stolen valor?
Yeah. Just got sent this thing. I'm trying to verify this. I'm seeing a lot of things about SEALs. You're telling me about Purple Hearts. You're telling me about SWIC. And no truth to any of this, that you can make a body disappear, and that you were mentoring a young guy, a boy that had never met a real live Navy SEAL before. Somebody's making all this up, I guess.
I don't know anything about that stuff. The only thing I've ever done is I had a kid from Chicago come stay with me for a couple of weeks. He was getting ready to go in the Air Force, and we worked out together. Yeah, but that workout is doing sit-ups and push-ups and flutter kicks, and I tortured him for about 3 weeks, and he couldn't take it, and he went back to Chicago.
It goes into great detail here, Mike. Your stepdaughter, Natty, cried when she saw your bullet wounds taking off and showing her your pale torso, describing them. And, but this young guy here, so, I'm just calling up to check it out. You'd said you were never a SEAL, but you were involved in Black Ops. SWIC doesn't do any of that crap. And I don't know anybody else in the Navy that does, but.
Yeah, well, you're a former SEAL, correct?
Yeah.
So you know there's more to the game than just SEALs and SWIC, and I'm not claiming I was anything special. Like I say, I wanted to write a story that kind of, my point in that book, in that series, really was to show that we get these vets, we wound them, we maim them, and then when we can't use them anymore, we throw them away. And then we say, you'll be fine. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Well, as you know, when you go in the Navy, you start out as something. I started out as an OS, and then things led to things. But I
started out as an OS, and then other types of things.
I make it a point not to talk about my career.
Why is that? You were an OS in the Navy,
Well, I'm proud I served, and when I'm with my fellow vets and my friends that I served with,
why make more out of it than that? Was there more to it than that? You were just an OS in the Navy? Just is a terrible word. OS. I was a bosun mate before I did any of that SEAL shit.
I'm a sailor, and I'm proud of it.
Well, there you go. How about that? Watch it with these Black Ops things, because you and me both know that's a bunch of bullshit. I looked in the SEAL database, did not see a listing of your name, but I got 2 guys telling me that you're making SEAL claims, and you're writing books about SEAL snipers and things like that. And you title it James.
So does Brad Thor.
Death Spiral by James Brodeker, Navy SEAL.
Yeah, but I didn't say that.
It's sure as shit on your book.
It is
Death Spiral by James Brodeker, Navy SEAL.
And what does the forward say?
I don't know anything about the forward. I'm looking it up here in Thailand ebooks.
Thailand ebooks.
It should. If it had just said James Brodeker, Operations Specialist, you wouldn't be getting the call here. But Death Spiral, so it's SEAL.
But please don't accuse me of things I myself did not say. Just like Stephen King can't help what people say he supposedly said or what he's really about, how they interpret his work. I have people all the time ask me, were you a SEAL? I always say no.
Would you be surprised if I told you I verify 20 to 30 fraudulent SEAL claims every fucking day? I got fake SEALs coming out of my eyeballs. They all profit from it. They're writing books about it. They all make these strange claims of Black Ops and showing people their fucking bullet wounds. And when I called you, that's right where you went to. Kind of crazy that, as close as I've come about mentoring this guy, and you're out there having him do flutter kicks and all that shit, kicking his ass before you sent him to Chicago. You love it, huh? This is coming, you're telling these stories to people who don't believe them because you have a pale torso. That's what he's taking his shirt off at the beach to show his pale torso. So,
well, I'm blonde hair and blue eyes, so I'm pale. And I don't like the sunburn, so I don't go out in the sun. So, yeah, pale. I meet you face to face and talk to you face to face, so look you in the eyes so you know I'm not lying.
Jim, I'm the guy that gets lied to from the minute I wake up in the morning to the minute I close my eyes at night. Everybody's got an excuse. I never said I was a Navy SEAL, and I just don't believe anybody when they say a damn anything. So I call you up there. You've been wounded a couple of times. Black Ops. You didn't get the Purple Hearts. You're writing the books. I mean, you don't have to hit me in the face with a handful of shit for me to know it's a handful of shit. And who kind of threw it? If you're the only guy in the room.
I never wrote anything in the book.
No, I know you didn't.
I didn't get black. I never wrote any of that shit about myself.
No, you're clean. I know you didn't. And that's where most of it. A lot of these claims come from. People contact me, wives, widows, friends, neighbors, This Bob is claiming to be a Navy SEAL in Vietnam, whose whole platoon was wiped out. Can you verify that? Yep, click, click, click. I verified that quick. And Bob didn't write about his time in Vietnam as a Navy SEAL. He told it to somebody.
If you read what I wrote, you will see that, number one, I make no false claims. And number two, the story is a work of fiction. I dedicate it to those who serve.
Maybe your next book you can write about an operations specialist that just got burned out in CIC and went on a bender in Thailand. I've been there myself. All right, sound good?
I probably won't write that because I love Thailand. And I hate the guys that go there and go whoring. Makes us all look bad.
Yeah, well, that was me.